Hey everyone, it's Michael Kikle. I hope you're doing well today, and I have another review for the second ever, and I think the only other ever Superman serial from 1950. This one stars Kirk Alyn once again, and a lot of the same returning cast to play the side characters like Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, so on and so on. But this is called Atom Man vs. Superman. Now, this is a 15-part serial that, once again, you would have seen in theaters once upon a time, right before some movies, for like 15 weeks, I think is what it would have been. And I had never seen it before. I finally watched it. After being such a big fan, as I said in my previous review right before this, that I recorded yesterday, so it's going to be the same shirt and everything, even though I just woke up because I slept in this last night. Anyway, this... I loved the first one from 1948. Thought it was really good, 4 hours long, watched it in little chunks here and there, didn't try to binge that one this time because the previous serial of another franchise I did, when I tried to just burn through it overnight, didn't work. It wasn't very good, it was kind of annoying more than anything. I did the same thing here, didn't watch it all in one go, but Atom Man vs. Superman has some good things, some improvements over the original movie, serial, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of it still falls so short. So short for me personally, for my taste, for what they did. There's a lot of things in here that were not in the first one that I thought was kind of cool. It kind of picks up, with some things that may have already happened surrounding Superman's life. But let me start with Kirk Alyn again. Once again, he is phenomenal here as Superman. And every time Superman shows up, they play the same theme song and a lot of the same music that they played from that first serial. I love it. I think he's really great here. And once again, you can see the influence from George Reeves and Kirk Alyn on somebody like the great old Christopher Reeves all those years later. I love the heroic stance that he has. I really love how they execute Superman here. Just as good as ever. Kirk Alyn is just as good as ever, too. All the side actors and stuff are really good. But this time around, we have a villain that's not the Spider Lady. No. We have Atom Man, which he is so fucking goofy looking. He looks like when you see people make the Chad memes online, like in a comment section, not like with an actual picture. And in the comment section, they'll type something like, here's my weeb manga collection. And then they have the stone face, That's what he looks like. His whole helmet looks like that. And it's so huge. It doesn't look like a Power Rangers helmet that fits pretty close onto a person's head. Or at least the bodysuit itself would be big enough to make it not look like it's extremely huge. No, it's not like that. It's humongous. Just this big old helmet on his head. It looks so goofy and so bad. But I love it. It's charmingly stupid. But then when you hear his voice and stuff, he has like a Russian accent, which makes it even better, even more stupid. That ruined almost everything about this movie. It wasn't like a fun, sexy chick like Spider Lady from the previous serial, but I still had some kind of interest in what they were going to do with Atom Man. There was like an A-bomb thing in here, which was part of the story, and something else I'm forgetting. It's been like a month since I watched this, just so you know. There was a UFO that showed up, but then there was also this thing about a teleportation machine that people could be standing in a room and then you would hear like that beginning of the Looney Tunes song when the circles would show up back in the day where it's like, you would hear that and then the people would just vanish. Or you would see it on the other end of the reverse of that noise in like a cave or something where they would show up. And it turns out the person who invented this teleportation machine showing up for the first time in this era of Superman stuff was Lex Luthor. I think this is the first time Lex Luthor ever had an appearance on TV, movies, anything. This is before Gene Hackman, for that matter, which I always thought was the first time we ever saw Gene Hackman. For a film called Atom Man vs. Superman, I never would have thought Luthor would show up in this, but he did, and it was kind of cool getting to see the guy who played him here, because he actually played him fairly well. They were very nice with the comics, how they represented everything from Kirk Alyn's Superman over to Lex Luthor. I liked all those things. I think I read that Atom Man is in the comics. I don't know about that, but I believe that. I believe. Faintly. I could be wrong, I could not be wrong. But I liked a lot of those things. But the story's momentum is so weak. The way it's told, how quickly it's told, it feels like this drags forever. And it's not just because of the repetitive nature of serials. It's not just because those can be kind of boring if you watch too much at one time, because like I said, I didn't do that. I watched like maybe a couple of chapters a night. That whole 4 hours and 12 minutes long just dragged. Just absolutely dragged most of the time. Despite the charm, despite some of the things that made this fun to watch, I was more annoyed than anything. And I don't know if I was just in a wrong space of mind or what. Usually I try to just, out of this year's goal of watching everything in my backlog that I haven't seen, or things I haven't seen in a while, and trying to decide whether I should keep a physical copy or not, when I'm watching those things, I try to pick out what I'm currently in the mood for. And right now, with it being fall, October really, I'm taking a break to watch all these Halloween things I love. So I try to watch things in my backlog that I'm in the mood for, when I'm in the mood for it. You know, don't wait a week or anything like that. And I gotta tell you, this one just didn't hit well. It didn't hit the way the first one did, but it was mainly the story, the execution of it. This could have been a really solid, maybe half the length, maybe down to 10 parts, let's say, and not even halfway, but let's say 10 parts. That could have been really good. There's a lot of Lois and Jimmy Olsen going off and doing stupid shit and getting in trouble, and Superman has to interrupt to go save them. And that was an issue that happened a lot in the previous movie, or if you can call it a movie, serial, whatever we're calling that. Series, I don't know. But it was more obnoxious here because they would go out of their way to do stupid shit, and then when he would have to cover his tail and make it look like Clark Kent had been here or there the whole time instead of being Superman to save them. Again, that was done in part 1 as well, but it was done better. It was done better in my opinion. Again, there is a chance that maybe this is just as good, if not better, and I was just in a bad mood. I don't think it was. I don't think it was. I was in vacation mode. Ready to go on vacation, I mean. So maybe there was some of that. Maybe there was some excitement just to get out of my area. I don't know. But I don't think that's what it was. I think this is a very flawed serial that wasn't as good as the first one. Atom Man looking so damn goofy with his glitter robe and his big meme helmet. I don't think that's what the problem was. Despite Kirk Allen being so great here, the chick playing Lois Lane and the guy playing Jimmy Olsen all being good. Even Perry White is really good here. But I want to move on to the effects. Like I said in the previous volume, or the previous movie, whatever, they do a lot of this, not so much rotoscoping, but they animate a little cartoon Superman every time Superman flies. This one is a little bit more loosey-goosey, you know? Like, he kind of, like if he's going up in a straight bullet, he kind of flops a little bit just because they did that as a style thing. I don't hate that. I really don't hate that. I thought it was, again, kind of charming, kind of added. And the first serial kind of had this a little bit too. I like them doing that here. But one thing that I absolutely love is that they have Superman getting shot a bunch in this movie, or this serial. I keep messing up what to call it. But like he'll be standing there, he'll have his chest puffed out, and as the bullets get shot at him, they'll cut to a shot of Superman, and it'll be little cartoon bullets hitting his chest, falling off, and I love it. I genuinely think it looks good, and sometimes I didn't even know at first what I was seeing, you know, that it was cartoon bullets. That was like the Brandon Routh Superman bullet to the eyeball shot, but like in 1950. They did that before. I mean, Superman comics have been doing it for like 30 years before this was made, but still, we got to see it in live action for the first time with a cartoon bullet, and I love that. It was done a bunch in this serial. There's a lot of cool things in here. I think this is the one, too, that included a lot of bombs and fires, if I remember correctly. And those were kind of neat. I liked how those were done as scenarios to save people from. But at the end of the day, Atom Man versus Superman, I wanted to like it, I wanted to love it, as much as I did the first Superman serial, but it just doesn't come close in the same ballpark. There's a lot of things that drag this one down, and I would say it's kind of below average for me. As much as I love Kirk Allen, I love every time, every chapter when he has to show up as Superman, the way he carries himself, I love that stuff. As silly as this particular serial was compared to part 1, which was also silly, but in a better way, I think. This just didn't hold up for me. I don't think it has the best reputation amongst Superman fans, even back in the day. I guess that's why they made it. I don't think they ever made a third serial. I think that's probably why. That and probably money, so we're getting into the 50s. But I really wanted to love this, and I just don't, to be honest with you. When it comes to Atom Man versus Superman, if I had to rate this serial from 1950 on a 5-star basis, I'd probably give it like a maybe a 2 out of 5 stars. It was a big mess, man. I felt really bad about this. Again, there's a chance for anybody who happens to love this cereal out there. Do know I gave the first one a really high rating, like almost a 5 out of 5. It was a 4 out of 5, matter of fact. But this one, I just don't feel that way. I don't know what it was about it. It just doesn't hit that itch, man. I don't know. But if you love it, I'd love to hear why. Do you like this one more than part 1? Let me know all that down below, too. Thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you all. Again, 2 out of 5 stars for this. I feel like bad for putting it that low, but I just don't love this one at all, man. Anyway, thank you guys. God bless you all. Catch you later, and goodbye.